Oh my god, Neesberry, you guys. Saparella, they call it in Trinidad. I can't believe it. Green though, but I'm like, oh
So
my
I now get
god.
me some Portugal and we moving on to part two. Come back to me. So earlier we was discussing the reason why we're poor. And some of the reason why we're poor is because of bad choices that we made, right? And so doing this is all about developing a rich mindset. I remember poverty starts or begins in the mind. So first we have to shift our mindset and then we start to take action and then we will align with wealth and riches and attract that to us or put things in place where we could be able to obtain wealth or accumulate funds, right? So the reason why we're poor, number one, is our mortgage or our rent is more than one third of our annual income. Number two, we don't have an emergency fund, and even if we do have an emergency fund, it's below $1,000. I know a dollar is a dollar in every country, so either it still fit, right? And number three was because we work in a 9 to 5 instead of having a career, instead of having a skill. So we exchanging time for money. Now we're at number four, which talk about student loans and stuff like that, which really barely have much to do with me in my personal life. But I know you guys, some of you guys who watch me probably could relate. So stay tuned for that, number four.
Number 4, you've got student debt, or other debts for that matter. You realize your degree didn't do much in today's economy. You keep pursuing this field of your specialization just so you don't feel like you've wasted all that money, but, plumbers and electricians are out earning you by a landslide. The thing about debt is you have to realize that you're not even broke. You're less than broke. A homeless person on the street might not have much, but they're above $0. You, on the other hand, don't have that luxury. You're actually on the negative side.
Basically saying student loan gonna just leave you in debt. But what I want to say about debt is you have good debt and you have bad debt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word properly, but I know you know what I'm saying, right? So bad debt is like student loan, for example, that when you get your money in your account from your job, the bank first get paid, so you get what left, right? Video was basically saying student loan is something that pass on to generations. If you refuse to pay off all them student loan, your kids would have to pay it off, and if they refuse, your grandkids, and it go down, right? But what I want to say is bad debts is like that, right? Good debts are basically when you borrow a loan from the bank and then it's like you use that money and go and start a business. That business generate money, you pay back the bank where you borrow, and then you take the profit and reinvest it or whatever. But the fact still remain is if you had $100,000, you still gonna have $100,000. You will always have your money. You're borrowing the bank money to use to invest, whether it fail or not. You know what I mean? You're still gonna have your money, you're still gonna be secure, you're still gonna have your emergency fund and all these different things. So that is an example of a good debt. You know what I mean? And it was also when the part where it mentioned like the homeless is richer than us. Yeah, you know what I mean? In a sense, in the term, like they have nothing to really study. You know what I mean? A homeless man have nothing to really study, but only thing he have to study is a roof over his head and a meal to eat. You know what I mean? Or a daily bread. He don't have nothing to study. He don't have no debt. He don't hold nobody. You know what I mean? He's not wanted. He's not needed. He don't have any kind of responsibility free of that. So because of that, he's more richer than people who actually does and have all these and price of living going up, and you have this small little paycheck and you have these big dreams, and you say them thing is like burden. It's like, you know what I mean?
You've got no investable assets. If you want to grow your wealth, you need to own something that generates or increases in value over time. Your car, for example, That's a liability, okay, not an asset. You need to put gas in there, you've got to change the oil, fix it up when it breaks, pay for insurance. So it's costing you money just to have it. What do you have in your life outside of yourself that's either making you money or going up in value consistently?
So I think everybody's already aware of liability and asset. Yeah, I feel like I even saying these things on the top of my head, I don't want to go on Google and, I could have and make it even more professional, but I'm just saying, right? Most things we spend with money on barely last us long, or it need an maintenance, or it come with some kind of upgrade kind of feature, all these different things. So you have to invest basically, and we have to invest in things that making money, because if it's not making money, it's taking our money. So we have to choose which side we want to be on, whether you want to be the buyer or the seller, whether you're going to sell goods or you're going to sell services, or whether you want to capitalize on your skills, your talent, your gifts, whatever. You know what I mean? Invest whatever you can capitalize on, or whatever money, no care how small it is. Invest it, plant a seed, you know what I mean? And you will get a tree that gonna bear fruits, and then you're gonna always get back seed to replant. So never, eat the fruits and discard the seed, and only could harvest once, when you could, keep replanting the seed, keep investing. Let me say it like this: spend for now, but invest for the future.
Number 6. Inflation is outpacing your earning power. You know you're the new poor when things are becoming more expensive faster than you're able to increase your income. Right now, the price of goods and services in the US is approximately 20% higher than it was 5 years ago. Houses are 23% more expensive, medical services are 47% more expensive. The list goes on, okay, and it doesn't look like things are going to get any better anytime soon. If your income didn't increase by 50% in the last 5 years, you're 50% poorer.
Basically saying that cost of living going up, and that is true, because I usually buy spaghetti by the grocery and it was like $8, and the other day I went and it was like $10, and I'm like, when, how? It's like, I'm like, really? Did I just wake up into a different reality? Because it was just $8. You know what I mean? It's like it just creep up on you, and like before you know it, you're like, what? So I bought it that day, but some people would have probably be like, nah, I could go down by Mr. Chen and get it way cheaper. Still would have tried to go and get it for what they believe it is, but really and truly, cost of living really going up. You know what I mean? And also saying if your income is not increasing, it's definitely decreasing. And I understand. I know what that feels like, because yeah, right now, like a girl going through it. You know what I mean? It's really, you know what I mean. And I feel like these things supposed to make us, push us more to do this, to want to, do this, to want to invest in whatever we can, to learn about stocks and shares and bonds, index funds, to learn as much as we can. So, you know what I mean, we could use the little we have, and, you know what I mean, plant a seed. Yeah. And this gonna be part two. I'm gonna stop it right here. I might have just leave it like this with this video. It's really up to 15, but I'm like, but yeah, stay tuned. I love you guys. Obviously, you see, I'm not gatekeeping. I'm sharing everything I know, because we're doing this together, like sis. So yeah, stay tuned for my next pause.